Hey, welcome. It's Brian, and today I kind of wanted to run through some of my gear. Someone had asked me specifically about one of the guitars I use, and today I was going to go through just pretty quickly 3 of my main guitars, my amps, show you my pedal board. I don't know if that's exciting or not. I'm a huge pedal guy. I have probably since the pandemic bought and sold, hundreds and hundreds of pedals. I don't keep them for the most part. I kind of pass them on and just try new things and all of that. So starting with guitars quickly, I am a pretty big PRS guy. This is a hollow body 1, I think, that I bought in 2008. So this is almost a vintage guitar in a way. I guess it's, almost 20 some years old, I guess. A great guitar. I've been using it again in the band I'm in. I have a 5-piece kind of progressive rock band that I've been slowly working on since probably almost 2 years now. And this guitar is pretty much original, but I put a bare knuckle pickup in the bridge simply because Paul Reed Smith pickups to me in general are really high fidelity. They show everything you do. And I wanted something a little more kind of vintage voiced for that guitar. So I tried that, super happy with it. Does great heavy tones for a hollow body. I'm a huge proponent of basically, this is a mid-90s. I've got 2 of these. It's just a Strat I bought in pretty bad shape off of Reverb, and it's a made in Mexico version. Humbucker, single kind of configuration. I love humbuckers. I have single coils I never have really gelled with. So this guitar I bought for a couple $100. I put a DiMarzio, my first DiMarzio pickup in it. I believe this is a Tone Zone. Or no, it's an Evo pickup, so I think that's like a Steve Vai thing. Pretty high output. I love the guitar. It's pretty limited for me. Like, I don't do a lot of high stuff and all of that, so I'm okay, but it's pretty tough to get up there for me. And the tremolo is terrible. So it's very archaic, but I love this guitar. This is pretty much, I have another version like this that I've loved forever that I bought probably 15 years ago for almost nothing. And I put pickups in that and all of that, but this version I really like. So I've got 2 of these roughly the same year, and that's kind of my main guitar. And then one of my newest guitars I got, which I think is what the person in the comments was asking about. This is the Tim Henson from Polyphia, his signature model. And what I'll say about this guitar is I love it and hate it. It's probably one of my favorite guitars to play, and I did a little silly review of this, not very in-depth, but love the tremolo, love how the guitar feels. These inlays are somewhat confusing for me because it's a 24-fret guitar, so all of my guitars are basically, the scale is quite a bit shorter, and I can't reach up to this part at all. You can literally access all the strings, all the notes, all the way to the 24th fret. So really unique and not like anything I have. And the only thing I would change, I would love this guitar so much more if it didn't have active pickups. My first active pickup guitar, and I have to say that I don't love them. They're not bad. They get great, this guitar gets great guitar, or gets really great like kind of Strat style tones and all of that, but the heavier stuff seems to be more challenging. So I'm keeping this. I'm not getting rid of it. I got an incredible deal on this, so incredible guitar for the money, and a pro level guitar. Lots of people complain about finish problems. I don't care about finish problems for the most part. The guitar costs another $1,000, so I wouldn't expect, much more. I mean, this guitar, the PRS hollow body, was almost $2,200 when I bought it brand new, and it had a finish issue that probably shouldn't have come out of the factory like that. But it showed up later. So anyway, quickly, amps. I'm a pretty big Angle fan. I have the Fireball 25 head, and then the 112 that corresponds to it. And then I have the PRS MT15 and the 112 that corresponds with that. I love the PRS MT15. These have not left my house ever. I've not even played with a band with these, so I don't know how they would hold up. But if you see me playing guitar, whether you like it or not, it's through probably the PRS. The Angle I was really into for a while, and I may be using that one for gigs as we're getting close to playing out and stuff like that. So that's kind of quickly what I have. I got some cool pedals. Like I said, after watching all of the stuff with Bandmade and looking at Konami's Pedalboard, which I've done a few of those kind of walk through people's pedal boards, but people really like that, and I like doing it. And I remember hearing about Free the Tone. I knew it was a Japanese company, but you rarely see them on boards. And then I'm going to blank. I think it was like Larry Carlton or Mike Landau or one of those big session guys. They showed his board. I think it was just recently at the Baked Potato in LA. Someone took a picture of this person's board. I think it was Larry Carlton. I could be wrong. And he had everything he had was Free the Tone. So again, I'm kind of thinking it's not Larry Carlton. I think it's like Mike Landau or something like that. Or I didn't look it up. So if you know who that would be, kind of one of those LA kind of session guys, kind of a jazz rock player. Anyway, he had a lot of the Free the Tone pedals that kind of Konami has, like the delay, and there's some other stuff that I didn't even recognize. So I had seen them before, but I knew zero about them. One on Reverb. I bought that distortion pedal. I love high gain pedals. That's what I mostly buy. I keep very few of them, to be honest. I've rebought this one. This is an Australian maker, MI Audio. I bought and sold this, not this exact pedal, obviously, but this version many times, probably 3 or 4 times. Cool pedal. The thing is, you're never going to get great high tones out of, or high gain tones out of a pedal. You'll get things that are really close, but there's nothing that beats a great tube amp on the kind of lead channel. That's just the facts about it. You can get lots of interesting tones, lots of great tones, but you'll never get it to that point where I would compare it to like my Mesa stuff I've had, or the Angle, or the PRS stuff. I recently got this. This is Amp Tweaker, and it's the tight metal. I think it's kind of like a muff variant or something like that. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to keep most of what I bought recently just because I'm tired of losing money or whatever. But yeah, kind of cool stuff. Here's a cool version of a Tube Screamer that Mythos did. I'm keeping that. I love Tube Screamers. And I'm going to show my pedal board before I keep bore the shit out of you about this. It's pretty heavy now. I powered this. I bought the Walrus Canvas power supply and the 15, and I got it really, when they first announced it, it was like 25% off or something, and so I got it for less than $250. Now that same one's $300, so pretty pricey. I had a Voodoo Labs power supply for 13 or 14 years. Never had a problem with it. It didn't have enough outputs. And this is the pedal board, this pedal train, sorry it's heavy, that I've had for the same amount of time, probably 15 years. So cool, Ernie Ball did a tuner and a volume pedal. I always love having volume pedals, and I eliminated the tuner by getting that, so that was cool. This right here is a great Tube Screamer by Love Pedal. One of my favorite Tube Screamers of all time. It's kind of a higher gain version. I've got 2 versions of that. I bought probably 4 or 5 of those and handed them out to friends. This is one of my favorite fuzzes of all time. I wasn't a fuzz guy forever, but the Beehive Nectar. I use this in conjunction with the whammy pedal and get kind of like a Roland guitar synth sound that I really love doing. This is a Riot Mini, super high gain pedal. Kind of a keeper. I've had this several times. I'm not going to sell it. Definitely cool. gets you pretty close. Love the carbon copy. It's my favorite analog delay. And then I use the looper mostly for 2 or 3 pieces in a song, in songs we do. Okay, the whammy pedal, I have it basically taped. I use it just for certain settings, and to be honest, I bought the ricochet, which I thought would just be the same thing without the pedal part, the actual treadle part or whatever you call that, and it sounded completely different and not as good. So yeah, so I'm keeping it. TC Electronics, super old, Andy Summers, Eric Johnson, many others use this pedal. I bought it, and I dig it for the most part. I wanted to have some kind of chorus or flanger, so that does that. Mini wah, use that a little bit, kind of lots of functionality on this one. It's the 535Q, so it's got a lot of parameters on it you can mess with. And then I use this reverb because none of these heads have reverbs, and I actually use it kind of for more layering and kind of loops. So I'm working on an ambient guitar record that I've been working on for a long time, and I use a lot of reverb, and so it's basically, you would recognize it as guitar, but there's not guitar chords. It's more like kind of a texture kind of oriented thing. So I use that a lot. So that's my pedal board. And how it sits today. Tomorrow's another day, so who knows. So yeah, if you have any questions, I don't know why you would, but if you do, I'd love to answer them. I bought a lot of pedals. I've got a lot of opinions on them, and I may or may not be able to steer you in the right direction. Pedals are really fun, and this is kind of the culmination of maybe 15 to 20 years of buying pedals. I didn't buy pedals for a long time, and then I discovered the gear page, and I just, whatever was trendy, I had money at the time, I bought lots of stuff. I didn't keep it, but I had a couple of Klons here and there when they were affordable, $300, $400. And I regret selling, all of those. It would have been great to have 1 or 2, because that would kind of turned out to be a great investment. Most of the pedals I've had, I've sold. I very rarely make more than what I bought. I usually lose 25%. So that's just kind of the cost of doing business when you kind of operate like that. So I don't care. Anyway, I'm Brian. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for all the support. I'll see you soon.